Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. We're going to be opening our next Super Mario Amiibo. This is Koopa, or Bowser, as we call him out west. Looks pretty awesome. A very similar pose to his Smash Brothers pose, but I believe his colors are a little different. I do happen to have the other Amiibo, so I might do a little bit of a comparison later. Again, like all of these other Amiibos, I believe that the Super Mario series each one opens up a special game board in Mario Party 10, so it will change the gameplay depending on which game board you open. Apart from that, he does also open up his Super Smash Brothers character, I think, as well. I don't know if he's capable of opening anything else in other games as well. Really interested to see what kind of quality we're looking at with this Amiibo. He's a bit larger than the other Amiibos. I'm pretty sure more expensive to create, but I'm not sure about the quality. Interested to see what it all looks like when we open it up. If you'd like to see the unboxings for the other Amiibos, I will have the links in the description below. But for now, let's just go ahead and open Bowser, or King Koopa, or whatever it is you really want to call him. Alright, let's jump in and unbox the Koopa Amiibo, or the Bowser Amiibo, as it were, for the Super Mario series. Now, on the front of the box, you can just see vaguely what he looks like, but obviously you need to open him up to actually get a closer look. Here on the back of the box, nothing really special at the top here. Let's see, it says Koopa, Super Mario series. His model is NVLC-ABAF, and it is the JPN edition, but I believe they're not region coded. It just says over here that you can use him in Mario Party 10, for example, but you can also use him in Smash Brothers and other games. Give him items and collect them, and he will power up and get stronger. So that's one of the main features of Amiibos, is that they actually grow and you actually kind of take care of them and that sort of thing. So there's a nice illustration here on the back of the box. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him out of it now. Let's see. By the way, I have brought over my other Koopa Amiibo over here so that we can actually compare them later on. You can actually see what they look like. And pulled him out of the box like so. Alright, so let's get him out of the plastic. Wow, I love Koopa. He's actually got a bit of extra plastic here on the front to make sure that he stays in place and doesn't fall over inside the box. And this is the Koopa Amiibo. He looks great. Now, something that's great about the Koopa Amiibos is that they're so big, they actually overstep the base. They actually don't even really fit on the base 100%. That's great. He looks terrifying, but in a sort of friendly way. And I like how his hair kind of flows kind of in a cool way. He's a very cool villain, isn't he? He's not the kind of villain that you want to dislike. On the face, now I was concerned about this cut here on the Amiibo, but I believe the other Amiibo also had that, so that's quite normal, I think, for the design. Maybe that's just unavoidable at this price range to make it any more seamless than that. But apart from this cut, it does look quite cool. He's genuinely got his mouth open. There is actually a gap in between there. You can see his teeth coming out there quite nicely. He's got his eyes painted on nice and sharp. Actually, you can already see the texture that they've put in on the green part of his skin. Very nice. Huge red eyebrows. This guy can really make expressions. Cool Viking horns. I've never really thought about the fact that he's got Viking horn style horns on him. Fiery red hair. More of this bondage equipment going around the neck and the arms. I don't see any on the legs or anything. On the front, he's, I think this is fairly smooth. There's no real texture to his belly part over here, but there is texture on the orange parts, which gives him more of a reptilian look. He really is a reptile. Ow, this hurts. It's really, really painful, actually. This is quite sharp. Don't really want to drop that on anything. They're nice and strong, though. It does still look a little bit like it's been pieced together like this, but not as much as my previous Amiibo. I will compare them later on. White going around on the shell. He's got a couple spikes coming off on the tail here. You can see a ridge on his leg here, but you also get a little bit of detail on the pads of his feet. That's quite nice that they've gone to the effort of painting that in that color on the bottom. Obviously, he does come with the checkered base, and the checkered and the red base, which shows that he's part of the Super Mario series. And apart from that, I think that's everything you can really see about the Koopa or the Bowser Amiibo. Now, on the internet, they look very, very similar, but I'm just gonna put them together. You can see the pads are exactly the same, so they're identical in size for the base. But then when you actually put them down, they are actually really quite different. He had this hatched kind of etched in texture before, and on this one they've gone in for sort of, I don't know, like it's plasticined together. It looks like it's been kind of done by hand in a way, as opposed to these ones which have been kind of cut in. So that looks different already. If you look at the bondage equipment, these have kind of metal studs, or not metal, they're just silver studs, whereas on the new version he has kind of white painted studs, so it's already quite a bit more friendly than the old version, the Smash Brothers edition. Looking at the hair, you can see he has got a different tone of hair this time. On the new hair, it's a much more primary red, whereas on Smash, it actually has a kind of burnt look, almost like this guy is on fire and the front has actually gone darker. But apart from that, the horns are very similar. He's got more of a red on the horn part here, and this is more of a brown on the Super Mario edition. His expression is very similar on both of these amiibos, but he looks a little more terrifying on the Smash Brothers edition. Eyebrows are actually smaller on the Smash Brothers edition, and actually larger on the Super Mario version. So I don't know if that makes him more scarier or more friendly. I'm not really sure. They both have the cut on the lip. Do take note of that. If that bothers you, it will always bother you, I think. I'm used to it, so it's no big deal, really. The mouth is almost identical, apart from the lips. If you can see, he has much more pronounced puffy lips on the new version, which kind of, again, it looks a little more friendly, to be quite honest. This one, he actually looks like the alligator I assume he was designed to look like. Let's have a look at the front. This is, the textures are quite similar. He has less lines on his belly here. He actually has more lines making up his belly on the Smash Brothers edition. I mean, the pose is very similar. In this one, he's kind of doing a karate, I don't know if you would call it karate or kung fu kind of pose, whereas in this one, it's less kung fu and more I'm the king and I'm here to grab stuff. I'll just flip them around so you can see from the side. Again, at the bottom of these spikes, they are more red, a bit of a more red look color on the side at the base, whereas the base is more brown here on the Super Mario edition. Flip them even further around this way. His tail comes down lower on the Super Mario edition, whereas his tail is up much more in the air on the, in fact, not only is it in the air, his foot is also kind of in the air. He's really on the move. He's going in for the attack, whereas on the Super Mario edition, he's more static. He's kind of in place, just kind of ready to defend himself. I think he's getting ready to fight. This one's going in for the kill in a way. So I'll just show you them from there. Might actually give you a bit of a slower turn, just very gradually so you can see all the details for yourself. Looks great. It's more of a metallic look on the shell on the old one. On the new one, they've gone for a more textured look. I think it also disguises the fact that it's been in separate pieces. It's a bit more obvious on the Smash Brothers edition. And here, from the top, yeah, his hair actually flows more on the new edition. And on the old one, it's just generally kind of shorter and spikier. He's kind of more Elvis on the new edition. Should also just point out, this is also very heavy. If I'm holding both of these amiibos, they have got much more weight to them. They're certainly more expensive to construct than the other amiibos, in my opinion. So I think that if you're looking for pure value for money, there's more product here. They're weighty and they feel nice. Koopas are, you know, the Bowser characters are definitely some of my favorite amiibos. They just look so awesome, so powerful. You just get more amiibo for your money. But yeah, they're very heavy as opposed to the other amiibos that I've had for Smash Brothers, or even the Mario amiibo. He's quite light by comparison to these ones. Now, I believe they both open up their character in Smash Brothers and also in Mario Party. I'll be very keen to see what kind of game board that will be unlocked when I put the Super Mario edition Koopa Amiibo into the game and see what kind of game board comes up. I will make a separate gameplay video for that. Until then, don't forget to comment, subscribe, share all the links and all that good stuff, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Something that's nice about this one is that the colors are nice and bold. Fiery red hair, it's less kung fu and more I'm the king. They do look really, really nice as a pair. I would say that the quality is actually better on the Smash Brothers edition. They are separate. This red part and this white part, you can use him in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker as well. There's no magic trick. His eyes look like they move. I don't know if the word is crimp, but they do kind of crumple. It looks a bit like a birthday cake.